Um, Hello, or good morning, um, YouTubers and positive thinkers out there. Good morning to y'all, creative thinkers, um, the people and good energy that likes to wake up and match up. Good morning. Um, and before, while I have this on my mind, I want to, ask if you don't mind. Please like and subscribe, share, all that good stuff. So I'm just nothing but good energy here. Um, and a good morning again. So let's see. Yeah. Um, First of all, I want to talk about you know my mornings and how I like for my mornings to go when I wake up. And I'm pretty sure I'm just not the only one that feels this way. A lot of people, you know, we share the same, will feel the same way. I like for my mornings. I care about my mornings, and I like for my mornings to go smooth. Um, you know, Certain days, you know, they don't, but you can adjust to certain things, Um, but I like for my, I like my mornings and I respect my mornings. I like the mornings and I respect the mornings. This is why I do certain things at night, you know, so I can, be prepared and wake up in the morning. I don't know, it's just something about the morning. As I said in the last video, I played with the night, and I like the night too, the nightlife and stuff like that. And maybe every so often I'll go out and I'll do some things at night. So um, but I love there's something about the mornings, that I like. I just like the whole matchup that goes with the mornings. People want the coffee and you know. Um, Coffee, bagels, or whatever sweet things that you like in the mornings, and you just match it up, and then you're going about your day, and you're, you know, fulfilling your dreams and going after your positive results. And sometimes, as you're going throughout your day, you may be having a good day and a wonderful day, and you just may have a raise or just got a raise, or your boss complimented you on something, and then boom, as you're crossing the street, you look on the ground and you find $20. So your lunch is paid for that day. So that's what I mean by finding positives within a positive. Finding your positives, finding your win-win. And I've had days like that where my day was going good, and then all of a sudden I find $40 right there on the street, and then I go out and get me some lunch or something like that. So. That's my thing. That's I guess what some people say. That would be my geek. The mornings. I like the mornings. That's my thing. And the whole matchup that goes with the morning. First of all, I talk about the people. I want to talk about the people a little bit of 31st and 6. As I said, when I started doing positive thinking, they immediately took to me, and I recognize that when I first started positive thinking, I was out in the rain, and I can remember. I'm going to show you. I can remember. I can remember, my pants, are the jeans that I had on, or my jogging pants that I had on, they were soaking wet. And, but the rain, I wasn't really bothered by the rain. And it was cold out. But I wasn't bothered by that because I was so caught up into the coffee and doing positive thinking. And the energy that I was receiving, that the rain and me being soaking wet and my shoes were wet didn't bother me because I was caught up in the energy and greeting people and meeting people and just being in the moment. So as I was, I guess I was on the door at the time. The manager wasn't. I remember this. The manager didn't kick me off yet. I was on the door at the time, and I was doing positive. I said positive thinking. My attitude must follow. And this woman walked over to me, and I thought she was going to give me some money or something like that, but she just came up to me, and she said, "What size do you wear in the waist?" And I told her my size and everything, and you know, she was talking to me, and we had, you know, the conversation was at a minimum because she had to go to work, and so I didn't think nothing of it. So I was still, you know, greeting people and meeting people and stuff like that. I didn't think nothing of it because, you know, I said this is New York City, so she's an attractive person, but I was like, this is New York City, so boom. I remember that day doing positive thinking. It was raining, and she had came back and she brought me. Oh, I wish I could. She well, anyway, these are like, I've had them for a long time, and I want to keep them. But this is one of the first gifts out there at 31st and 6th. This lady came by and she brought me some jogging pants, and I'm like, you know, and she was on her way. She was going to work or wherever she was going, because it was like, what, 8 o'clock in the morning, and that's like really rush hour. But she came over there to check on me, and she went to the mall or wherever she got them from. I know it was early in the morning, and she came back and brought me some jogging pants. I don't even, you know, I don't know where she got it from, because it was early in the morning. I don't know. It probably might have been 10 o'clock. So I guess the malls were probably open by then. As I said, it's been a long time ago. So, but I guess the malls were open. So it's about 10 o'clock. She came back and brought me some jogging pants, and I was like, she took time out of her day to come and bring me those jogging pants. So I want to try to keep them for as long as I can. You know, I like them because, you know, they were a gift. So that's why I still have them. You know, she kept the receipt, but the tag was up there, and I'm not going to talk about the price or anything like that. But I was like, wow, you know what I mean? You know, the love that I received at that time, I was doing positive thinking, but I was just saying positive thinking, my attitude must follow, but I had to take a moment, and because I was grateful at the time, and I had to take a moment. She didn't tell me her name or anything like that, so I did a special prayer for that lady, and hopefully one day I can see her again. And I thanked her, but that touched me, because she didn't have to do those things. She didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? And she didn't have, you know, they weren't cheap, but she didn't have to do that. So that's what, and I know that it's hard times out here and stuff like that. So, so I was like, you know, I had to take a moment for that, and I appreciate it to this day. So that's why I have them. What they call it, sentimental value. Okay, so yeah, so there's talking about the positive thinkers out there in the 31st and 6th. I mean, you know, I love them, and it was like, well, how do you just love people that you don't know? And I tell people I go off the energy that I receive out there. It's a certain energy that I get on 31st and 6th, and when I say I love them, I love the energy that I'm receiving. The exchange of energy they give me and I give them. I love the exchange of energy out there. And I ran, you know, and people come across, and as I said, they want to know what's going on with me, how I'm doing. And it's like, and when I'm speaking, and it's kind of difficult, and I'm gonna share this now because it's on my mind. When I'm speaking, it's like I'm caught up in speaking. I'm caught up in my zone, and then people just come up and like, hey, how you? And it's like, okay, I gotta stop what I had on my mind, and it's kind of fun doing that, because then you have to go back and backtrack but I have to stop speaking, and then I have to remember who is this, and remember the conversation that we last had, and just be in the moment with them. So I have to stop what I'm doing here to go over here, and I don't mind it, because I find it challenging. Now I got to go back and remember what was I talking about, and still try to get the same rhythm in, and try to get so the whole thing is fun when I'm speaking. And when I'm speaking out there on 31st to 6th, it's like I'm doing the YouTube thing now. This is another one of my points that I'm talking about. I'm doing the YouTube thing now. But when I'm out there speaking on 31st to 6th, it's like I have people walking in front of me. I have people walking behind me. I have people it's like right in the middle of it's just right, like 31st and 6th. So it's right in the middle. And it's like people are walking all over. So when I'm speaking, I have to speak with the rhythm so that people can catch my point, because there's only a certain amount of seconds that I have to try to make my point across as they walk by, and only I get the light for a certain amount of seconds too. So it's different speaking out there and then speaking on YouTube. See, on YouTube, then it's like the time. I have more time. So, talking about the hourglass. So yeah. So I, as I said, I ran into a lot of good people, and I ran into I ran into a lot of good people, and I've had this person, a friend of mine. I guess I'm gonna be. I guess I have to. Well, a friend of mine came by and gave me some codes, and this goes back in the beginning of things. And as far as the matchup and how things click together. So I guess I'll go ahead and make every moment count for something that is uniquely you. That's by a friend of mine, Sammy Simpson. And I don't want to feel like I have to ride off somebody else's wings or ride off somebody else's back, but it wouldn't be right if I didn't mention things, because all these things happened in the beginning. So I can't leave any parts out. So I can't leave. So if I can't leave any parts out, because I want the whole thing to make sense, and what's being played out even until this day. But make every moment count for something that is uniquely you. That's a good one. Make every moment count for something that is uniquely you, for something that is going to define me and who I am, instead of trying to be like somebody else. So that's what I get from that. Make every moment count for something that is uniquely you. Who are people that's going after their passion? Who are you? Are you going to let somebody tell you how to drive, or do you know how to drive? Who are you? Where do you want to go? Your passion. And I call it breaking away from the norm. breaking away from trying to be a part of, being a part of something, but okay, I can try to be a part of this, but who am I? I'm using the wishbone again. I can be a part of this, but who am I? And if I am a part of that, would I be comfortable? And can I be comfortable with myself? These are just questions, and I put questions that I ask myself into the footage room. So I wanted to try to get that off because I'm going to be explaining the footage room. I'm going to, I guess, have some more things in the footage room, but I put questions that I ask myself into the footage room. Am I comfortable with that? Or can I just do a little bit better than that? Can I create? Me personally, I think I can do just a little bit better than that. Than trying to fit in and be a part. I like to make, as it says, make every moment count for something that's uniquely you. Okay, and I agree. I agree with these things. So, yeah, I feel that I can do better and be better than just trying to fit into something. I want people to know who I am. That's another reason why I'm glad for positive thinking. My attitude must follow. Boom. That's another reason why I'm glad for that. Positive thinking, my attitude must follow. So, see, it's like a little safety net. Boom, 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 boom. So, so make every moment count for something that is uniquely you. And that's by my friend Sammy Simpson. I don't know. I'm not going to get too deep, but pretty cool guy. I like him. I'm not going to get too deep in that. We had a moment, and we had a good moment, and we're going to have plenty more moments. So that's just the way I'm going to leave that. And I appreciate him bringing his quotes by and other quotes by, because I think he made this into a book or something like that. But yeah. So, and then here's another one. You can discover more about a person in an hour of play than you can in a year of conversation. You can discover more about a person in an hour of play because, and I talked about reasons, and I said hold on to your reasons like rope, as if you're climbing up the side of a mountain or whatever. Just hold on to your reasons like rope. You can discover more about a person in an hour of play than you can in a year of conversation, because the guards are down in an hour of play. All your guards are down. And you're in the moment and you're having fun. All your guards are down. Then you can in a year of conversation, whether it be on the phone, whether it be online, whether it be face to face. In a conversation, and I'm not saying all people or all, I shouldn't say people, but in a year of conversation, when you're talking with somebody, people usually have like their guards up and they don't want to tell you everything. They don't, and there's understanding to that, I guess. But you can discover more about a person in an hour of play than you can in a year of conversation. Plato. Yeah, in a year of conversation, people, especially when you're trying to you got to break the ice. I know we all heard about that. We got to break this ice. And then I got to get to know this person. And, so people, some usually have their guards up, whether it be skeletons or whatever. I know that when I was doing positive thinking out on 31st and 6th, and I just mentioned this to them, that when I was out there speaking, it was one day that I noticed that people were starting to actually pay attention to me, because first it came positive thinking, my attitude must follow, but and people are walking by, I didn't really think that people would start actually listening to me. I was just out there, for the energy, and if they gave me a little bit of money, hey, that was good too. You know what I mean? But then I noticed that people started actually listening, and I was like, wow. I said, well, that's a responsibility. And I said, okay, well, if people are actually listening to me, I didn't know how all that was going to work. People actually listen to me because, who am I? But, the confidence is still there with me. But who am I for people to be, listening to? You get people going to college and doing all this in these universities. You have some smart people out here that's doing their thing. And that's the way I was looking at it. Not that I didn't have confidence in myself, or but I was like, wow. So, and I noticed when people started listening to me, I said, well, I have to take responsibility on certain things. If people are going to be listening to me, well, then I have to open up, and I have to be truthful with things, because if people are listening to me, I don't want somebody to come, and I tell them this, I don't want somebody to come around and bust me out on something and embarrass me on the streets like that. So I sort of put myself in this, I guess, I don't know, however this is going, however God has, my higher power has me going, whatever. But I sort of put, it's like this position. And, what they say, as you step out there, then, so people started listening. If you step out there, if you make your bed, you have to lie in it. So if you step out there, so that's what happened. Didn't mean for it to be like that, but that's what happened. And so now I got to put, that's what happens. Well, do you actually feel the way you feel? And yes, I do. So I'm in agreement with myself. Problems are not stop signs, they're guidelines. Okay, now, Robert H. Schuller. Now, I said, those are my quotes for today. Problems are not stop signs, they are guidelines. And no, you shouldn't stop with the naysayers. You shouldn't stop just because somebody told you this. You shouldn't stop just because the finances may not be there. Is that your passion? Is that your dream? Why stop? And I'm like, well, you done rode your rowboat all the way out this far, and what you gonna do? Turn around and you're gonna go back to shore? You already rode all the way out this far. You might as well keep rowing and see until you get to the other side. Problems are not stop signs; they're guidelines. If you see a storm that's coming and you're out there rowing, you're not going to row into the storm. You're going to go around it. Problems are not stop signs; they're guidelines. So you're gonna, and this is expected while going after passion. This is what other celebrities, they talk about when they go on TV and all this other stuff. They talk about their roads. They talk about how hard it was for them. So if it was hard for them, why shouldn't it be hard for us? Okay, so I want to talk about negative energy. Oh, here we go. People that's going after their passion, and I have to go back to the Bible about this. You may eat off of every tree of this land, or you may eat the fruit of this land, but you may not eat of that tree. That's the same thing with positive seeds and planting positive seeds. You can have all this over here, but this tree right here, do not eat off of. Talking about, you can have the double. Well, for me, what I put it, you can have the double positives, but the tree of insanity, leave it alone. I don't know. You take it. You can take it how you want to, or do what you want with it. But that's just the way that's what is on my mind now. Talk about negative energy and how like it sways and it moves like the ocean. Negative energy, negative thinking, negative attitude, going after passion. You're going to have people saying, don't do it. Don't go that way. You're going to have a lot of people throwing darts at you. Don't do it. You can't win. You're this, you're that. You're going to have a lot of people saying that. Or not a lot of people, but I would. It's the energy. You know, and some may not want to have this energy, but it's just there, and they can't deal with it themselves from here to here because it's like mixed. So I don't know. But negative energy, misery. As I tell my positive thinkers, it doesn't have a color. Negative energy doesn't have a color, but as I said, it moves, sways like the ocean, back, forth, front, back, forth, side to side. It sways, you know. When you're going after your passion and you're going after your calling, and you're feeling good about it, and things seem to match up, you know. Misery, it doesn't want positive thinkers to see the match, to find the match. It moves, sways, tries to get in your way, does anything. I gotta stop you. You know. As I said, misery exposes itself. It doesn't, as I said, it doesn't mean to do it, but it does it. I don't know. I wanted to get that out there. So when I think of negative energy, I think of it like the ocean, and it moves. It goes from side to side, front to back. And I explained that. I did the quotes. Cool. So you can discover more about a person in an hour play than you can in a year of conversation. Plato, make every moment count for something that is uniquely you. What's going to define you? What's gonna make you happy? Not trying to please others, but what's going to make you happy? Problems are not stop signs; they're guidelines. Now, I'm going to do a couple of things out of the footage room. I'm looking at my time here too, so that's why I keep looking up. Identify yourself. Oh, first of all, I put to be or not to be into the footage room. That's should be off the last video. I put to be or not to be into the footage room. Double positives, double negatives. I put the domino effect into the footage room. I want to explain a little bit more about the domino real quick, and I'm going to try to do it in a couple of minutes. And what I was talking about, the domino. When you put the first domino down, I was talking about the alpha and omega. When you put the first domino down, okay, that's the start of life. You put the second domino down. These little dominoes that I'm putting down, these are my problems in life. They're not actually like dominoes, but they're the problems in life. Okay? So you put the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, boom, 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 boom. Problems and things that I need to take care of in life, or whatever. Or you could say, I put the first domino down. This is the start of my troubles. We could do it like that. This is the beginning of how this stuff happened. Then you put the second domino down. Then you put the third one down. Okay. Now, as I was explaining, if you take yourself from that first domino that you just put down, whether they be problems that you're going through, dealing with negative thinking, negative attitude, if there are problems dealing with insanity's way, or there are problems like just basic life problems. You might not be living in the negative way. You might be living in double positive way. And just life throwing you problems like your electric bill just went up or something, like anything. So it can come from either way, either to be your side or not to be. But you had that first domino, the second domino of life, or the problems. I'll say problems or troubles. Then you have this third domino, and then you keep putting these dominoes down. Okay, I'll call them dealing with the insanity way, trouble. So that way I can get my point across. The first domino, the second domino, then the third domino. If you would take yourself, after you put that first domino down, if you would take yourself from that first domino and come around to where you put where the last trouble is, let's say for me it was court, going to court. That was the last domino. My last domino was jail. Okay? That was the last domino. I went from the first domino from doing this and doing that, and second domino, I started to learn how to do this and do that. My third domino, okay, once I learned, I started getting comfortable with it. My next domino, now I got comfortable. Now I got to distribute everything out to where I got to try to get this juggling down. So, if I went around to that to the other side of the domino where it was jail, where it was for me where it was jail, I would look back at the first domino and say, well, while you're sitting and thinking, how did all this stuff come about? It's what we always ask ourselves. How did all this stuff come about? And if you look back down the domino line, you're going to see it right there. That first domino. But then see, I can't accept that. So then therefore, I have to find somebody to get mad at. You see? This is more. This is more of the wheel turning. As I said. So that's the domino effect. Now, I want to talk about, I put the fool into the footage room. The fool. Now the fool goes like this. The fool comes by. No, okay, I'll talk about the fool. The fool comes by, and the fool wants to play a trick. The fool's got a trick that he wants to play. Basically, the fool comes by to trick you up out of your attitude. To try to get you to switch some of that positive thinking into some negative thinking. Why? Because if you switch some of that positive thinking into negative thinking, then, as I said, you get in trouble while the fool gets away. The fool comes by. That's what the fool comes by to play a trick. And if you accept the fool's trick, then that fool is no longer a fool, then you become a fool. Because you accepted that fool's bait. Fool's bait. So the fool comes by to play a trick. And if you accept the fool's trick, then that fool is no longer the fool, you become the fool. So I put the fool into the footage room. Now, the things I put into the footage room, now, as I said, this is all learning. This is to help misery, insanity. Come out of the footage room. If you can't deal with the same music, then come out of the footage room. Turn around, and if you see what I see, then you wouldn't. The fool or misery wouldn't take nonsense so seriously. Come out of the footage room and turn around and look. But if you don't want to come out of the footage room, of course you're going to take nonsense seriously. I would take nonsense seriously too. If I got locked up and I'm in trouble, but the only thing about it is, if I got locked up and I'm in trouble, I ain't have nobody else to blame. I had to blame myself because I did it by myself. See, you don't have to go through all that pointing fingers and stuff. Like, I know who did it, and therefore I couldn't really say anything. So I had to be mad at myself, but which I really didn't get mad at myself because I knew what the heck I was doing before I before I did things. So, identify yourself. I put that into the footage room. Identify yourself. See, you got people that come and have say a lot of things. This is New York City. People fly in with stories. You see, they got trains. People train in with stories. They got boats. People come in. You can reach me by sailboat. You can reach me by airplane. Yeah, people come in with stories. See, that's why I say identify yourself. Who are you? I got positive. You say you got positive energy. I hear you. It sounds good. You say you got positive energy. But do you really got positive energy? As it says, you could discover more about a person in an hour of play than you can in a year of conversation. And just because I played with you that hour doesn't really mean I know you. So you can say all along that you have positive energy. You know, if I'm trying to get positive results, I'll tell you that I have positive energy. But I have ulterior motives. You know? So, as I said, identify yourself. Identify yourself. Who are you? Who are you really? I give you another one. Cloaked. Being cloaked. You can look at Star Trek. You might have some cloaked energy. I'm going to tell you that I have positive energy. I tell you all day long I have positive energy. Could be cloaked, but I have ulterior motives. So this is why I say I put identify yourself into the footage room. Who are you? And it's going to take more than an hour of play. Who are you? How is your energy? Identify yourself. Identify yourself. Double positives or double negatives. Let's see. I put the deck of cards into the footage room. The deck of cards. Now, misery. Misery is going to call it whatever it wants to call it. You say this, misery is going to say that. If you say it's blue, misery is going to say red. This is why I put the deck of cards into the footage room because, positive thinking, positive attitude, having patience for my results, the match. But misery goes up against the match. And as I said, how did the deck of cards go? I put the deck of cards into the footage room for two reasons. Because misery is going to say, misery is going to try to call the game whatever it is, except for what the cards really show. It's kind of, and as I said, if you say this, then misery will say that. Okay, here's how the deck of cards go. Oh my God, I have to go back. The deck of cards. Say that you stumbled across some gold, and you go into the gold shop, and the guy's telling you you already did all your homework, okay, about the gold piece, okay, and you go into this next shop, and the guy said, well, this ain't real gold. Okay, what do you mean this ain't real? You know, but you don't tell the person that you did all this. You already did all this checking out. But the guy says, well, this ain't real, and it's only a certain amount that's real. So I'm going to have to give you less. I'm going to have to give you. You know, the value has depreciated, or I can't pay you what you think that I can pay you for this gold piece. Let's see, how else? I put it in there for two reasons. Basically, what I'm saying, you're going after passion. And basically, misery is going to try to find every reason and probably call you every name in the book. Or try to say anything just to take you off that road of passion. So as I said, if you say that it's blue, misery is going to say that it's red. Which knowing, you both know that it doesn't make sense. But it's automatically going to say that because it's operating from the way of nonsense. You know that this stuff doesn't match up. So it's just like when you lose a card game. You don't want to lose. You don't want to say, you don't want to tell that other person, oh, you just beat me. You want to try to throw down a bluff or whatever. So that's why I said, I put the deck of cards into the footage room. Misery, call it whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the game, that's my money. Because it matches up on the double positive side. At the end of the game, that's my money. So you can call the card whatever you want to call it. Well, then lay down your cards. Misery doesn't want to lay down the cards, because if Misery lays down his cards, then you're going to actually see what's in Misery's hand. So that's why Misery takes you through all these things. If you say this, it's going to be, Misery's going to say that. So that's why I put the deck of cards into the footage room. Okay, sharks eating sharks. Sharks eating sharks. Sharks. Can't go up to sharks. Sharks don't want positive thinking, first of all. They don't want to hear positive thinking. See, sharks don't operate by the way of positive thinking. Sharks eating sharks. And I explained sharks eating sharks. Positive thinkers, we're all on the boat. We're all on the boat. The music's going. We're having a good time. We got a little champagne, whatever you want to drink, whatever. We're all having fun on the boat. Everything's right on the boat. But around the boat, there's sharks. See? Sharks. And see, if nobody jumps in, the sharks have to eat. So they're going to eat each other until somebody on the boat jumps in. See? So that's why I say to my positive thinkers, if you're going to go down there and you have sharks swimming around the boat, at least if you have to go down there, be prepared. Don't just jump into the water and you know that sharks are eating sharks. Be prepared. Take some shark repellent and those sticks with the thing on it, the pokers. Yeah, take some of those things if you have to jump down in the water. So sharks eating sharks, and sharks don't want positive thinking. So you got to remember. So I put sharks eating sharks into the footage room. How does it help Misery? Well, as I said, if I know that sharks are eating sharks, I'm just not going to jump into the water. Or I'm going to try to find a way to get out of the water if I am in the water. You see? I'm just not going to, be there, sharks eating sharks, and you take a bite out of me, and you keep taking bite out of me, and then you keep apologizing. Sharks eating sharks happens on the insanity side. Negative thinking, negative attitude. I start to roll over on people. I start to tell on people. I start to hate on people. Negative energy. Oh, you got too much. Sharks eating sharks. That's what goes on the insanity way. They eat sharks eating sharks. On a positive way, we're in agreement with things. So I think I'll stay on the boat and I'm going to watch the sharks eat the sharks. See? Like they do on the when they're filming those channels, those whale channels and shark channels and stuff like that. Did you just see that shark eat that other shark? And then you have questions, things about it. So sharks eating sharks. I put the filtering system. Filtering. Got to filter all this stuff out. See, if the fool comes by with the trick and some crazy talk, ridiculous talk, so you use the filtering system. And you try to find out, once that fool spits out all that stuff, use the filtering system to see what's really good. And I think of the filtering system like coffee. You put the coffee beans in there, and it goes through this little system until you get the good stuff. See? If you caught somebody's hand in a cookie jar, and they're not going to go into insanity looking for truth. They don't want to tell you truth, but you will have to use the filtering system until you get that good stuff. Just like the coffee. You don't drink beans. You don't want that stuff that comes after. You want it to go through the process until you get that good stuff. Same thing if you in certain relationships and stuff like that. Use the filtering system. If I don't feel like, if I'm in a relationship and I don't feel like that or a business relationship, if I don't feel like I'm getting everything that I need, then I use that filtering system. Yeah, you told me this, you told me that, But what did it say? As it says, the devil is in the details of things. Filtering system. Okay. Again, I'll come back to the filtering system. The filtering system. I'm trying to finish this up. I got a little time. Yeah, because I can tell you anything. The fool comes by, so you got to filter. You got to filter all of his. I don't want. This is YouTube. You got to filter all of his Humpty Dumpty talk. I'll call it that. You got to filter all that Humpty Dumpty stuff out. See, you got to fill all that. Just don't buy all that. Cream filling. That's what I call it. Cream filling. I like Oreo cookies, but it's the cream filling. I can do have it or not have it. But I'm not gonna put myself through all that just to have the cream filling in between the two chocolate, which I'm there for the chocolate anyway. Okay? That's just the way I look at it. The cream filling, you can have all the extra additives and extra preservatives and all that other stuff. You can have all that. Okay. Boom. So that's why I say filtering system. I put agreement into the footage room. And I tell people, I tell my positive thinkers, I say, misery, wake up and try to wake up and agree with yourself. Now, I can't agree with things. Just like I put amen to the footage room. Negative thinking, negative attitude, looking for positive results. I'm not in agreement because I know that there's a lot of risks. I can't be in agreement. I can say that I agree, but there's going to be some part of me up here that that's gonna be like, hold on, this is a lot of risk for this little bit, you know. So I say, misery, wake up and agree with yourself. Positive thinking, positive attitude, having a good day, having a good morning, hey, and receiving some positive vibes. I agree. Going after passion, I agree. Yes, I'm going to go after passion. Now, I agree with all that. Positive thinking, morning time, going after passion, and having patience for my results while I do other things. I agree with all that. So that's why I said, misery, wake up and agree with yourself. And as I said, I put these things into the footage room to help misery. I put the rope into the footage, reasons in the footage room. That's our rope to keep, that's what keeps us safe. That's our base. Because if somebody comes, let's say the detective JJ or detective somebody comes, so-and-so comes by. Well, what are you doing here? Well, I was doing here because this, and this, and this. I can explain to you. I can explain. I have my reasons. I can explain. And then, well, did you do this, this, and this, and this? Well, I did this, and this, and this because of this, this, and this, and this. And you can check it out. I have my reasons. My reasons. My evidence will back up those reasons. So my reasons would be my base that I stand on. That's for the positive thinking side. Doing things on purpose, doing things without seriously thinking it through, I have no reason. So when you have reason, double positive, negative thinking, negative, I have no reason doing it. So then therefore, if I get caught, I'm mad because I had no reason doing it. So the only person I could be mad is who? But misery doesn't want to get mad at itself. Water. Keep my mind on the bigger picture. And I'm in with water. Water. Keep my mind on the bigger picture. Water. It helps. You go to the hospital. Doctor has to give you medicine. Drink water. Water. It also cleans you out. Water. It also makes things grow. Water moves forward. Keep my mind on water when I'm going through things or mental things. So far, so good. I haven't been going through anything. Just going after passion. Problems going to come with that. Hey, and but everything's been good. But I keep my mind on water to keep my mind on the bigger picture. What's this really about? As I said, water, it has so many advantages to it, and as I said, water it helps to clean you out. Water is there's so many things to water, and that water comes from above. So I keep my mind when I'm flying low, or things are getting to me today, or I might need to watch a video or something like that. Keep my mind on water to pick me back up. See, we got high flying and we got low flying. You see, the mental plane ride. Okay, positive thinkers, I'm going to end with that. I have some more things that I have to put into this, or I have some more things to go into this footage room. And thank you for letting me share. And I'm liking the YouTube. And y'all have a beautiful and blessed day. Positive thinking, my attitude must follow.